This is former Indiana basketball player Brian Evans, and you're listening to Indiana Sports Beat with Jim Coyle.
Welcome back to Indiana Sports Beat, of course, coming to you from the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios. Jim Coyle with you as always. And man, I love having special guests, and they don't get much more special than James Blackmon Jr. JB, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Just got back from vacation and getting ready for my new job, so everything's going well.
And by new job, I saw that you signed with it's a new team. You played in Italy last year, but it's a different team this year that you're going to.
Yeah, so last year my contract was through the EuroLeague team Milan, and I played on a smaller team in Italy. But this year I was able to, move up to a Euro Cup team. The name is Trento, so I'm excited for the opportunity at hand, and I'm ready to get out there.
I got to say, I have a lot of former players on the show that they're playing all over the place in Germany and just, everywhere. There's so many leagues, it's crazy. But whether it's Jordan Hulls or Will Sheehy, those guys are all over the place. But I got to tell you, I kind of like where you're located better than most of those guys. You're in Italy, at least. Not a bad place to be.
Yeah, I have nothing to complain about the living situation. And last year, being my first year going overseas, it really, opened my eyes. But, I'm very comfortable in Italy. So when I got a higher team and a bigger budget team in that same league, I was very happy.
And one of the things that I've talked to you about these guys, I know how tough it's tough enough doing that for a job, because it's something you have to be obviously very serious about day in, day out. But you're doing it in another country, halfway around the world, removed from your friends, your family, and all the creature comforts of everybody sitting at home watching ESPN at night. You can't always do that kind of stuff.
Right. There's a lot of things that I had to adapt to. One was, I had to get a Fire Stick so I could watch, games and stuff like that out here. But, I got very comfortable with it as I was out there, and I'm nothing but excited right now. So it's going to be another great year.
What has been the biggest adjustment you've had to make in living, half your year in a foreign country?
Like you said, probably just being away from, family and friends. But for me, I'm very close with my family. When I was out there, I talked to my brothers every single day, and my family came to visit me, and the people that, really wanted to come out there came out there. So I had a good time, and I really felt like I didn't miss anything.
And when we talk about family, your family, I call it, is one of the first families of Indiana's basketball, the state of Indiana. I mean, it goes deep. It starts with your dad. It rolls on through to you, your brother. Now you got a little brother that's still coming up, man. You guys just have had some of the most prolific players in this state's history. That's got to be cool to know that every one of you guys have had a stamp on the great history of basketball in the state of Indiana.
Yeah, for sure. Just all the work that we put in together. Like after I get off the phone right now, I'm about to, get in the workout with my two younger brothers. So we put a lot of work in, and we're just happy for the opportunities that have been presented to us, and we just want to take advantage of them.
Obviously, a great run at Indiana for yourself, and then your brother VJ, who's back at Indiana this year, I believe. And then you've got a younger brother that's coming up through the ranks, going to be a sophomore, one of the highest scoring players in the state right now. He's going to be a pretty good one, isn't he, JB?
Yeah, for sure. Every day when I'm guarding him, and when we play one-on-one, he's getting better and better. So hopefully he'll be the best one out of all three of us, but for sure, the things he's going to do this year on the court are going to be amazing.
How do you compare him? If you can look back at yourself at that age, and I know that's hard to do because I can't look at myself realistically at a certain age, but if you could, and then compare your brother, it seems like those that come behind us are able to use the things, the path that has been forged ahead of them and try to be better than we were, but it's not always the case. But how would you rate him?
Yeah, honestly, I would honestly put him ahead of me. I think that he's I was more of a 1 and a 2 guard, but he's for sure just a point guard, and he does it all, with the passing, the ball handling, and the shooting. He's very skilled, and a lot of people will start to, hear about him more and more as he starts to get older and get bigger.
I've seen a lot of these Indiana guys trying to recruit other guys. Are you going to try to help recruit your brother to IU or just let him forge his own path?
Yeah, I tell him about how it is to play there, but for me, it's just whatever's going to be the best situation for him and put him in the situation that he needs to be in for his career down the line.
And what's it like growing up in a family like what I just talked about, one of the first families of basketball in this state? I mean, your dad, you got him. He had his own success, and your brothers, they're successful, and as are you. But it's not like you can be the one guy and stand up and say, "Look at me." You're in amongst a bunch of guys there.
Yeah, for sure. We push each other. That's what it's like. Everything we do, we just try to make each other better. And, outside of basketball, there's a lot of other things we're interested in. And we just try to help each other grow as people, the best way we can.
And now as you're in the middle of your pro career over in Italy, is there any of the guys that you know in the league, or is it completely foreign to you?
No. Last year when I played over there, I was very surprised that, the big-time names that I heard of in college and also in the Big Ten, that I was playing against, and guys out there that they have that respect for each other because we all have that same goal, and there's definitely some big time players out there, and even like this year, one of my teammates, played in the Big Ten, so Aaron Kraft, so he'll be my point guard this year. So it's a small world. Everyone's journey is different, and that's what I learned, and I'm just focused on mine and getting better every day.
I just saw the TBT wrapped up last night, and Mo Creek was playing in that with Ramey Abel, both a couple of guys that both also played at IU. But Mo Creek is one; he's playing overseas as well, and you can tell it is a business, man. He is working, and that's what it's like for people who don't always understand. But it is a job for you guys. You're not just getting paid. It's like an 8-10 hour job a day sometimes. That effort that you have to put into that.
Yeah, for sure. There's huge efforts that you have to put in it. I think it depends on where you're at. My team last year and, the league I was in, we really didn't, practice that much. We just, worked on our bodies and got stronger and then, did a lot of walkthroughs before games. So for me, it was just, individual work and working with coaches, learning new things on how I can develop my game. So for me, I had a great time, and I'm excited about, the next team.
Talking with James Blackmon, former Hoosier great basketball player, now playing in Italy. What's the biggest adjustment you had to make, James, from going from the college game to doing this professionally?
First off, I started off with Philadelphia. I think the biggest adjustment there is just the athletes and the amount of ground everyone covers on each possession. So I learned a lot from that. The NBA game, also played in the G League. And then overseas, I think it's just, it's very physical, I can say, in Italy. It's a lot different. There's no 3 seconds. So the defense is tough. I think like guys like Luka Doncic said, it's hard to score over there. So if you can get buckets in Europe and especially Italy, I think that it says a lot.
And obviously you're playing in a league in Italy now. Are there places that you want to go to, different leagues? Because there's so many leagues there. I don't even know all the different leagues and the different levels over there. It's amazing how many leagues there are, how many different countries have leagues, and how popular basketball has become worldwide.
I think that everyone who plays overseas, their goal is to make it to those teams that are in the Euro League competition or Euro Cup competition. So this year I have that opportunity. So I have an opportunity that a lot of guys overseas, that's what they're looking to go towards. And I just want to, make the best out of it and continue to try and make my dreams come true back over here.
What's been the funnest part about Italy for you, about living there?
Just how relaxed it is. The culture was so good to learn. The food was amazing, and just the setup I had last year. I was right there on the coast, on the beach, so everything. My experiences with Italy was great, and I'm excited to go to a new city, a little bit bigger city, and learn more about that as well. So it's been great so far.
And I'm sure it's a lot less media coverage like it is in the United States, because we're half crazy with the media coverage on that. But it's got to be nice for you not to have to talk to us as much as you did over here.
No, actually, that's something that I thought that I was getting rid of. But, after every game, I had a guy on my team that would translate whatever I was saying to the reporters over there. So, it's huge coverage over there. One thing I would say is I would like, people over here to get a chance to tune into stuff like that, because there's a lot of great players that are out there. So,
well, we'll definitely be keeping track with you once you get over there. As a matter of fact, last year during the season, the great thing about the leagues over there is they're so far ahead of us time-wise that it works out great for doing the show. Mo Creek was always on, not Sheehy, but Jordan Halls. And I could call those guys during the day because it's during the day for them, and it works out perfect because of the time change. So we'll definitely be keeping track with you and follow up with you during the season and look forward to doing that. When does your season start?
I think my season starts at the end of September. But I have to get out there for like the workouts and things like that and get acclimated with the new team.
And how long does a typical season last?
Last year I was there until May, but this year I'll probably be there a little bit longer because I'm for sure trying to make a long playoff run, and we'll see where that goes. So it'll probably be up until the middle of May for sure.
And you talk about having to get a Fire Stick to watch some games. How difficult is it for you to keep up with, say, college basketball, whether it's IU or just college basketball in general, or sports in general for that matter?
It wasn't difficult, because I'm still in contact with everyone here, and it felt like I was just in a different state or something like that, because I still talk to everyone the same amount as if I was here. So I was tuned into the IU games all year. The only difference was I would have to watch it probably at 12 at night sometimes because the games would be at 6 or something like that, and the time change is different.
And I know you've been able to make it back a couple times for some workouts and whatnot. And man, they could sure use your shooting right there. But what's it like when you come back now as a former player, as a guy who had success there, and you come back and there's a team full of guys that look up to you?
Yeah, it was great. Just when I went back to IU this time, it was just a lot of questions being asked about, how the NBA was and also how, the overseas game is. So it was good to go back there and be a part of something that I had a great deal of work with, and I had a good time. So.
Yeah, I was just sitting here thinking, with your brother back on the team and with your younger brother just a couple years away, there could be a stretch of like 8 years that there was a Blackmon on the IU basketball roster.
That's funny. There could be, for sure.
So, what do you think of the current Indiana team? What do you think of their prospects? I know you didn't play for Coach Miller. You left right at that time when he was coming in. But what have you seen from them, or what are your thoughts?
You know, really, whenever I'm back there, I think Coach Miller is a great coach, you know, and he pushes those guys well. So I really haven't got a chance to see the players they've had this year like that. But I've heard a couple of the recruits they have, and with Coach Miller having them do the right things, I think that they'll for sure have a bigger year than they had last year.
We'll certainly hope so. And like I said, we're going to keep following you. So when we get done here, hang on for a sec. I want to make sure we got all the information so we can keep up with you. And where can the fans, for them to follow you, follow your team, what do they need to follow?
Either, you know, you can follow my Instagram, which is just James Blackmon Jr., or so the team that I'm playing on, I have I posted something, and you'll be able to see everything that they post as well.
Hey, thanks for listening to the rebroadcast from today's edition of Indiana Sports Beat with Jim Coyle, the only daily show dedicated to Indiana University athletics. You can catch us live each weekday on IndianaSportsBeat.com, TheDailyHoosier.com, GrowingTruth.com, or go to Spreaker.com for live notifications. Yeah, that's Speaker with an R, SPREAKER.com. You can also catch the entire show any place you listen to a podcast, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Play, etc. You can find and follow the show on Facebook or follow me on Twitter at Jim Coyle ISB for complete coverage of the Indiana Hoosiers. Thanks again. I hope you have a great day. I'm Jim Coyle, and I will see you on the radio.